Once you've switched the HT on and inserted the apertures, you should put your specimen grid onto the specimen holder. All the holders are kept behind the microscope on this bench here. This is the sample holder you'll be using for regular TEM imaging. It's called the quick change holder, and that's its name down here. It's kept inside a nice case. The first thing you need to do is unclip the case on both sides. So one clip here, and then another clip here. Now you should be able to remove the lid. Then put your hands gently on the black part of the holder and remove this plastic cover that stays on the tip of the holder carefully by pulling it straight out. You should never touch this section of the holder. Always just touch the holder from the black part here. This is where you will place your sample in the holder. If you are left-handed, you might want to slowly and carefully turn the holder around so that this part is to your left-hand side to make it easier for you to insert the grid in the holder. This part of the holder is where your sample will go. It's a delicate part of the holder. You should manipulate it very gently and carefully. Use these black tweezers here that have a wide end to carefully unclip and then lift this golden metal flap of the retainer. To prevent the holder from moving while you are lifting this golden metal part, place your hand gently on the black handle of the holder. Use the fine tweezers to remove a grid from your grid box, and you will place this grid sample side up onto the holder. And now to close the clamp, lower it down and apply some pressure on this edge here. Very gentle pressure until it clips. If you turn the holder sideways, you should see that the flap is nicely clipped because it's protruding to this side. It's very, very important that this flap is really nicely clipped. Otherwise, when you insert your sample on the microscope, you will damage the microscope. Without touching the metal part of the holder, pick it up firmly and carry it to the microscope, always holding it in the upright position. You will now insert the holder in the microscope via this opening here. You will notice that the holder has a pin right here. The pin in the holder will align with this small groove in the opening where you will insert the holder. Before you insert the holder into the microscope column, make sure you double press exchange holder. You should hear a noise. So now you can start inserting the holder into the microscope. Hold the holder firmly and straight, making sure that the pin is aligned with the groove in the opening. Once the pin gets inside the groove, push it a little bit until it makes a gas noise. Now switch this up and over switch from air to pump. The microscope will now start making vacuum. in the specimen area. If you switch to pump and the microscope doesn't start pumping, it's possible that you haven't inserted the holder fully into the opening. So make sure that when you insert the holder, that the pin goes inside the groove far enough that you hit a stop point. When you start inserting the holder into the microscope and you tell the microscope to pump the specimen area, it automatically opens this window here. Here you should choose the right type of holder that you are using. Use the drop-down menu to choose Specimen Quick Change Holder and then click OK. Before fully inserting the holder into the microscope, you have to look at two different indicators. This green light here must have gone from flashing green to steady green. In the vacuum monitor, the specimen chamber vacuum should have gone from not ready to evac ready green. The green light in the air pump switch will go steady before the specimen chamber is ready. So if the vacuum is not ready here, you should still wait before you fully insert the holder into the microscope. Now we're ready to insert the holder into the microscope. So put your hand firmly on the handle of the holder, turn it slightly clockwise, and you will feel a pulling motion. Then you turn it clockwise even more, and that will be a long turn. Keep your hand on the holder. The microscope will naturally pull the holder inwards. It's important that you don't let go of the holder as the microscope is pulling the holder inwards. Once the holder is fully inserted in the microscope, you can then let go of it. After you have fully inserted the holder into the microscope, just wait for this vacuum indicator here to go green, ready. It's the penning gauge status. It only takes about 30 seconds for this to go green after you've inserted the sample holder into the microscope.